All right. This topic right here, I want us to cover this topic really quickly. Um, are single people happier? What are your thoughts around this? Okay. What are your thoughts around this? While collecting your thoughts around this, I'm gonna go ahead and play a few videos. Apparently, this was a very popular viral topic on TikTok, and it's also a very popular question in the search engines. And I felt like, you know what, um, with demographic here, we needed to talk about this. We need to talk about this, okay? Because it's become it's become a tool for certain type of people, and I don't want that to be used against you. In what direction? Let's talk about it. Let me play a couple of videos, and then we'll take it from there. Shall we? All right, let's get to it.
I used to feel like I had to have a man. I swear, my whole adult life, I've always been in a relationship my whole life. I was in a relationship since I was 15 years old. This is the first time that I'm single, and I'm happier. I'm more free, and it's okay. Good. I used to feel like I had to have a man. I swear, my whole adult life, I used to feel like I had to have a man, and I want every woman out here to know, you absolutely don't.
All right, so there's something I want you to pay attention to in the rest of the videos I'm going to play. I want you to pay attention to frame of reference. Okay? Frame of reference. I want you to pay attention to that, right? Where is that person coming from when they say what they say? Very, very important. Okay? If you're going to look at things objectively, you have to assess it from that standpoint. Okay? There are also some facts. We're going to get into that too. Not facts particularly, but some studies and stuff like that, right? All right, so let me go ahead and play the next one, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. All right.
People just look better anyway. Like they glow. Single people just look better anyway. Like they glow, you know what I'm saying? You see them, their eyes are open, they're vibes, and like, girl, what's up? What day is it today? Like, they're just gassed. Like, single people just look sick. You can tell when someone's in a relationship. You can see. You can see, man.
You can see it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can.
It says single people just look better anyway. Then it said they look sick. I'm guessing that's a slang. That means dope. That means look good. Is that what that is? Because if that's not what he's saying, that would be a contradiction. But I think he meant what he said first, which is this:
single people just look better anyway.
single people just look better anyway, right? Again, frame of reference, mindset, right? So that's another one right there. Okay, these are some of the most popular videos out there, or clips, or reels, or what do you call them, shorts out there, right? All right, so let me get into this next one. Let's play this next one.
There are multiple studies that show that single unmarried women are the happiest subset of people in the world, and yet society keeps trying to tell us that, like, we're sad. And I'm like, no, bitches, we have data. You're sad. We're good. Leave us alone.
This one was fun. Like, no, bit. You're sad. Leave us alone, all right? All right. We will leave you alone. But yeah, I'm waiting. I'm gonna look in the chat in a second to see what you all are saying about this. Here's another one. Okay, this is what people have to say about this topic. Are single people happier? Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, let's get to this one.
Everybody has seen the article on Psychology Today. It's all over social media talking about how there's a rise in lonely single men because they don't have the skills that are needed to be in relationships, and people are actually raising their standards for relationships. I love this for my queens, but also, it's also...
Wait. This one I will need to assess. I'll come back to this one. Let me play this next one right here.
Are single women happier?
No, not this one. I have to come back to this one as well. Okay, so let me play this one then. Okay, we got 3 more. I'll play this one. I want us to laugh a little bit before we continue.
Single. I am single, yes. Single and happy, I am. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I am so, I'm so happy about it.
All right. So now this one, still frame of reference is very important, right? Where is she coming from? She sounds like a comedian. Okay. She sounds like a comedian. Okay. And what do we know about comedy? Comedy is laced with truth. People have to be able to relate for them to laugh. Okay. So every aspect of that joke she just cracked had truth in it. Yeah. Including the fact that, yes, a single person may be happy. They could just be happy, right? But they could also be capping, right? We also know that, right? Why did that chuckle a little bit right there?
Stop the cap.
Maybe because I'm married. Frame of reference. Where am I speaking from? I'm speaking from the perspective of a married person. So I might tend to chuckle a little bit about that, but in reality, I know better. That it's actually not funny. Right? Why? Maybe because of what I do, right? But let's keep going. But the joke was funny, nonetheless. Now let me play this one.
Also putting like a fire under these guys. I'm sure everybody has seen the article on Psychology Today. It's all over social media talking about how there's a rise in lonely single men because they don't have the skills that are needed to be in relationships, and people are actually raising their standards for relationships.
People are raising their standards for relationships. She's talking about the article in Psychology Today. I'm going to review that article very shortly too. All right, then I will give my own take on it.
I love this for my queens, but also it's also putting like a fire under these guys' asses. I'm here for it. Let me just go over a list. Maybe it'll ring a bell. Okay, I want to get into it. You stopped treating her like you did in the beginning. You stopped planning dates and taking her out on surprises. You stopped getting her flowers. You stopped bombarding her with love messages. You stopped telling her how you feel about her just like you did in the beginning. You stopped making her feel special.
The most important thing about what she just said is just as you did in the beginning. It's not necessarily flowers for you or any of those things she said, but whatever it is that you did in the beginning, right? This is why I needed to stop it and analyze it, right? Whatever it is you did in the beginning to attract that person, usually, if you're a normal human being like the rest of us, complacency will creep in and you will stop or slow down at some point. All right? She says something about the standard of relationships are increasing. It is what it is. Not just for any one side of the gender, for actually both sides, but they are both confused. Let's keep going.
You're allowing her to take on too many things in the relationship, such as the housework, the traveling duties, cooking, planning dates, and the kids. By the way, when this woman wears that many hats in a relationship, she's not allowed to be in her feminine energy. You're going to get a tired, stressed out woman that's going to, quote unquote, nag you and make your life a living hell. And you wonder, why aren't we intimate anymore? You're treating her like a roommate. You don't know how to communicate.
You're treating her like a roommate. That is a big part of it. Yes, she's the homie. Yes. Yeah, she's the homie. She's a friend. I do advocate for friendship, right? But then you forgot that she's a romantic partner. So yeah, you start treating her like a roommate, right? Because in your heart, deep inside, potentially, very subconscious, like you didn't feel the need to treat him like a king much longer. Because why? Complacency. Life is happening. It's not your fault. Yeah, you're right. All of those things. Life just happening, right? Or the other way around, right? But basically what you used to do when you're infatuated with this person, you stop. So because people have illusion of options now, which on the optic side of things, it's like options. It's just as good in terms of the ability to destroy your relationship. So people have those things. What are we talking about? We're still talking about are single people happier? Okay, so she went from, well, people would rather be single than be in a situation where they're being taken for granted. You forgot. What is the frame of reference she's speaking to? Why did she go so much deeper into this rabbit hole? Let's keep going.
You are not emotionally intelligent. You don't talk about how you feel with her. You don't talk to her about how she feels. You don't sit down with her every week and say, hey, what do you need from me this week? Do you maybe need more, physical love, verbal reassurance? What do you need? Maybe some flowers, a chocolate? You aren't setting down a time of the week to sit down and talk with her about how she feels. You guys aren't talking about emotions. You're not talking about all these things that she keeps bringing up to you. You aren't being vulnerable with her.
All right, so I know why. One of the issues is that under the single people up here on TikTok, on Instagram, majority of the people answering the questions are single women happier? That's the question that majority of people were answering. Why? You ever wonder why majority of the question being answered is, are single women happier? Why are we not answering the question? Why is social media not answering the question, are single men happier? Right? Because people is both sides, right? Right? Could it be because we're different? Right? I'm guessing that's automatic, right? Kind of like the same reason why they celebrate Mother's Day more than they celebrate Daddy's Father's Day, right? Maybe. Let's keep going.
In the relationship, and you're not creating a safe space for her to be vulnerable in the relationship either. Thus, you guys aren't really building real intimacy, at least not the kind of intimacy that's needed for a long-term relationship. So, point blank period, this article is stating what we women already knew this whole time. We're tired. We are sick and tired. And honestly, this points the question of, when is it the men's time to step up? We've been to therapy. Personally, every person in my close friend circle has been to therapy.
See, the women have been to therapy. Well, men are busy on the internet saying therapy doesn't work. So I understand where she's coming from with that. I said, therapy, what do you need that for? Get your ass up in the gym right now. And then suddenly she will start to feel safe and secure. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, yes. Bear going. Let's keep going.
When is it the men's turn? And it begs the question, like, why not just step up? You could literally Google, go on YouTube, go on TikTok, how to be a leader in my family, how to lead my family, how to be in my masculine energy, how to make sure that my woman always feels.
No, unfortunately, they don't Google how to be a leader in my family. What they Google is how to get my wife back. Gentlemen, I know you're listening to me. What you will end up Googling, if you're like majority of those people out here right now, is how to get my wife back. You will have to hit rock bottom before you start asking questions, right? How to be a leader, leader BT. Why is all this leadership? What about how to be a follower? No, they will end up Googling how to get my ex back. That's what's probably going to happen. What does it mean when she says, what does I'm no longer in love means? What does I fell out of love means? What does I need to find myself? What does that mean? That's what the majority of people are going to end up Googling. When they Google that, guess who they're going to find? They're going to find this guy right here. They're going to find this guy. Watch.
Past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. But yeah, David, listen, man, I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, any man who marries a woman past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. But yeah.
All right. That's what they're going to stumble into when they start to Google. It's not funny, by the way. Okay. They're going to stumble into this guy. His name is Donovan Sharp. If I have time, I'll cover him later on too. I was going to cover him today, but let's get back to the health.
Loved and provided for. How to be a great partner. You guys could do these things, but it almost feels like, you're feeling lonely single now? Well, that's how we felt in the relationship, you know? These women are sick and tired, and I do not blame them. I'm proud of my...
So is it safe to say single women are happier than married women? Based on what she said? Are we safe to say that yet? Not yet. Let's wait. I'm going to leave her alone. Let's go into this other young lady right here. The last
Are
one.
single women happier? As somebody who's been doing relationship coaching for 15 years, as somebody who has studied relationship for 30 years, don't come for me, I'm 50, y'all. I have, in fact, been studying research for 3 decades. The answer to the question, are single women happier, is yes and no.
All right, so the answer that most people are scared of on any one of these platforms and panels and stuff like that, The answer that they're scared of is it depends. If you tend to be the person that's scared of it depends as an answer, you go collect. Okay? It's only a matter of time. Okay? Because what that means is that you are looking for absolute answers. You're looking for answers for every question in the world. It's pride at best. Okay? You think you can literally comprehend everything that it takes to be a happy person. You can't. Okay? The only thing you can comprehend is how you feel right now. You can express how you feel right now to me. Okay? In terms of this topic in particular, let's keep going.
What do I mean by that?
She said it's yes and no. That means it depends. What does she mean by that?
Is a single woman happier than her friend who is in a relationship where she is deeply unfulfilled?
Boom. Is a single woman happier than a friend who is in a relationship, an unfulfilled person inside of her? You betcha. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Right? Because now we're comparing oranges to oranges. The question, are single people happier, is such a disingenuous question. Maybe not. I guess it's genuine, right? Because a lot of people are confused genuinely, right? But people are not a monolithic, right? People are not monolithic. So why would this have like a straightforward yes or no answer? Why? If you felt like this will have like a yes or no answer, like some of the videos I played earlier, that's part of the problems. Okay? Right? A happy person is a happy person. Right? If they're in a marriage, they will be unhappy. If they're outside of a marriage, they will be unhappy. It's not that simple yet. Let's keep going.
Where she has to try to explain to her partner over and over again why they should care about her needs, her feelings. Yes, that single woman is probably happier than her friend in a relationship like that. Is a single woman happier than another friend who's in a relationship that is characterized by high levels of dysfunction, toxic?
By high levels of dysfunction, is she happier? Right? Is she happier? All right, let's keep going.
Behavior or even, God forbid, abuse? Absolutely, a single woman is happier than her friend in a relationship like that. So, yeah, single women are happier than women who are in unfulfilling, unsatisfying relationships. Those relationships are often characterized by statistics like this. Usually, if there's a child or children in the family, the woman in that family is doing 80% of the childcare, working.
Boom! Could that be a reason? Remember, we started this with frame of reference. Frame of reference. Where are we coming from with this? Where are we coming from? Right? Hey, Amoya's Corner, I see you. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, my sister. Right? Could that be where she's speaking to? Right? Like, where are you coming from? Right? Are you in an unfulfilled state of mind? Does it matter if you're single or married? Right? Why do people bring up this talking point? Why? Are single people happier? If a single person is asking this question, are they actually happy? Just take a second to assess it. If a single person is asking this question, if it's a single person asking this question, right? Is that person happy? I'll wait for the answer. Okay. Now, if a married person is asking this question, are they happy? Take your time. Take your time. Okay. I'm a married person. How did I stumble to this? Because I'm just involved in this space. Okay. We're creating content around this. Okay. To answer real life questions, popular questions. Okay. A single person asking these questions, are they really happy? Huh? A single person, a married person asking this question, are they happy? Man or woman, no matter, right? I'll wait for your answers. Let's keep going.
Full time, doing 80% of the administrative
Therapy can support in a way. Therapy is always a good support system. Always. Not just in a way. But it also depends on how you use it. So a lot of people misuse it. They think it's going to just fix their issues. They don't do the work. So that's another topic for another day. Just wanted to say that because it was important. Okay.
labor for that family and at least 70% of the household labor. Again, all while working full time. You can speculate for yourself on what her other half might be doing or not doing.
Could that be the reason? Like, if a lot of the weight is on that woman, a lot of the weight of keeping the home together, right, is on the woman in a family, in a typical family, right? Could she start to process the idea of going to Google to ask this question? Are single people happier? Is that a possibility, right? Omaya says, being happy is a state of mind, so regardless of your status, single women are not happier than married people. Everyone is different and has different outlooks. It's too many variables. Too many variables, right? Let's keep going.
In that relationship. So yeah, many single women are happier than their peers who are in relationship. But is a single woman happier than a woman in a thriving relationship, a mutual relationship?
Is a single woman happier than a woman in a thriving relationship? Everything has been equal. Is that what she's saying?
A relationship that is close and connected.
Close and connected. Open relation. Closed and connected.
That is growthful and evolving. That both challenges her and cherishes her. Where there is, and in fact,
challenges her and cherishes her. Some people don't believe that's possible in the same sentence, but she just did. Yes, she did.
More equal division of household, administrative, and childcare labor? No. Most single women would give their left arm
Ooh.
to be in a relationship like that. I'm curious what you think. Do you think that what I'm saying brings a bit of needed nuance to this discussion that is all over TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, and it's all over the internet, and bloggers are getting all kinds of views and traction on this diet? Oh, happy, single women are happier, and oh yeah, like in 30 years, you know, most women are going to be single. What do you think when I put it like that? I want to hear from you in the comments. Take care, Daniel.
Wow. Cool. Omaya Kona said, if you have to ask, then you're not happy. It doesn't matter what your status is. If you're asking this question, you're not happy. All right? And there's an extremely high chance that changing your status is still not going to make you happy. That part, right? That part right there. If you change your status without taking care of this issue first, you collect what you will collect. Okay? If you're not happy in your present status, changing your status is not going to make you, there's a high chance it's not going to make you happy. Okay? Because she made a good point that most single people will give their left arm to be in the position of a person that's happily fulfilled and in a long-term relationship with a person, doing life with the person. Why? Because of this. We talk about this all the time. Because of I don't even know the numbers yet. Number 4. Okay? Now, number 4, it's not just romance that brings that to you, but the way we're socially constructed, a lot of people get that from romance. Okay? But there are some people, exceptions to the rules, that can absolutely get connection from friends, family that they're not necessarily doing life with. They are the exception. They're not most people. Most people are not set up that way. Their brain is not set up that way. Okay? All right. So, let's see. What else am I missing here? Omaya says, if you have to ask, then you're not happy. No matter what status you're in. If you are asking, Say less. Temilade says, I'm single and sometimes I'm happy that I'm single. Actually, I need you to be happy that you're single at all times because I don't have anyone to account to. I understand. Okay, yeah, that part, the responsibility part, right? Yes. But that also usually means that you're missing out on the rewards of a fulfilled partnership, life partnership, right? But again, looking at the grass is greener on the other side is always a terrible idea. Always a terrible idea because you're probably missing out on all the goodness of this moment. You're missing out on that, right? And by the way, you're missing out on a chance to advance your status because people can smell that you're not a happy person, and that's not sexy. That's not sexy. All right. And with all sincerity, I sometimes wish that I'm in a relationship. It's not abnormal. It's just in a holistic way. You want to be a happy person, right? Not moments to moments and stuff like that. Okay. You just took me back to those old Indian movies I used to watch as a child. Kilatugbe, Kilaju. Mulatu Jasi. Anyway. I'm glad I caught a live show. You can call Amoye. Are you gonna call in? Call in now. Let me chop it up a little bit before we leave. A healthy relationship trumps all these sentiments. Exactly. Our analysis was on point. Yep. So there's a lot of single people that just want to cap once they see an article like this. What is the article? Let me show you the article, right? Once they see an article like this, let me see. Where's the article? There you go. This is it right here. Oh, I exited the screen. Let me share it again. Share. There you go. Found it. It's on Psychology Today. This article right here. So I'm just gonna extract their findings. I'm gonna read out their findings for you. This is a conclusion. You can find this out there. It says the present findings challenge common assumptions about individuals not in a romantic relationship that they are unhappy and unsatisfied. On average, the reviewed study found the singles are all usually a certain age to a certain bracket. I'll show you what bracket they collected their samples from. Okay. On the satisfied side with both their lives and singlehood, right? They're both satisfied with life and singlehood, right? So happy singles do exist and in large numbers. Okay, good. Large numbers is not the same thing as percentages, most, majority, minority. That's not the same thing. Human beings are 8 billion of them. Large numbers could literally be 200 people. All right, let's keep going. The level of satisfaction with singlehood depends on a variety of factors. Individuals with higher singlehood satisfaction, the data showed, are more likely to be women, younger, have less education, and be in better health. Oh, interesting. It is important to remember that singles are not a homogeneous group. For instance, some have never had a romantic partner. Others have been in a romantic relationship before. Therefore, they have never been married. Frame of reference. Where are you coming from? If you've never been married and you say you're happy being single, right? There is a good chance you're capping. Okay, now here's the thing. If you're being married and you're happy to be single, it makes sense. Maybe you were in a terrible situation, right? Obviously, because if it was that good, you wouldn't exit, right? Now, if you're just single and happy, that does exist too. Yes, in large numbers, still a minority. Because of the way we're socially constructed, we want to connect with other people. So there are nuances everywhere in this conversation. What is the key thing here? I'm going to let the person that just called in tell me. I think it's Omoye's corner. Hey, Omoye, how you doing? How are you, my sister?
I am well. And you were just about to say, I was already thinking, I was like, I need to jump in really quickly on this one.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How's our wife? Ìyàwó wa and one more. How are they?
Oh wow.
That's good.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
What's your take? What's your take on what we're talking about? I'm hearing feedback a little bit though.
Oh really? Interesting. Are you still hearing it? I don't have anything on.
No, I'll just stop talking. That's all right. Let me just hear
Okay.
your take. Yeah.
Okay. Well, on this issue of, whether single, I've been seeing it on TikTok myself, and I've had thoughts about it myself. The thing is, people are, sometimes people tend to want to blow things out of proportion. With the advent of social media, people will take something and then try to drag it and blow it out of proportion, especially with all these podcasts, especially with the guys. It's kind of made it more popular. So the women are finding, if they see any win, something they consider to be, oh yeah, this is for us, right? They want to drag it on, sort of. So my take on this is, seriously, everybody's different, and I agree with the last TikTok that you showed us.
Right.
If you're single, right, and someone else is in a healthy relationship, you can't say, oh, I'm more. Let me start by saying, what you've never tasted or what you've never experienced, you don't really know what you're missing out on. So if that kind of person says, I'm happy, yes, they're justified. There's a 90% chance that they're truly happy. Of course, the 10% being life, what happens and all of that. But if you've been in a healthy relationship before, and for some reason maybe you had to part ways, you can't come out and say being single is the freest or you're happier when you're single. That's clearly a lie. But if you've been in a terrible relationship, right, and you've never had a real loving relationship with someone who respects you and appreciates you, right? If you come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm happier because I'm single," then you're right in you because of your reality. You are right, right? But you can't. There are no comparisons. You can't compare. Someone might be married, and people who are married and maybe are not having the best in their marriage, they're not happier, because they're married. No, because they're not in a fulfilling relationship like that lady said. So I just think everybody has different personalities, different ways of looking at life. Yeah, if you're
Right.
at the end of it, or I mean, to cap it all up, is the question is, are you happy with yourself, regardless of whether you're married to someone or you're not married to someone? That's the most important question, right? Because if you say you can't compare your happiness, that's just a fact. Happiness is not something you can compare with another person. It's not,
Right.
it's
Right.
personal. Yeah, that's what I think.
I agree because it's happy with regards to what? Happy about what? Happy about now? About in
Exactly.
general? About exactly what? Right. So it's such a very generic question that honestly, everyone that's answering this question as yes or no, they're all capping. Everybody. Even including anybody that says are married people happier.
Exactly. Yeah.
If the answer from your heart is yes or no, uh, you need to tell us the rest of the story because that's cap.
Exactly. You can't say, oh, I can't say, oh, I'm happier than Ola. I can't, because my own happiness is clearly different from yours. You know what I mean? I may be happy and content being where I am and doing, oh, I'm sorry, thinking about that. Being where I'm doing my life the way it is, but I can't
Right.
compare it to someone else's life, whether they're single or married, because we have single people that are miserable.
Yeah.
Every day they're thinking of how to partner up. So you
Mm-hmm.
see people partnering with any type of person,
And married people that are miserable, looking for
and
the
married
exit.
people, exactly, and are looking for their exit because they
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
that fulfilling marriage. Most
Yeah.
people who have very healthy relationships and are truly, enjoying being in a partnership, right?
Right. Right.
You don't
Right.
hear them. They don't have time to be talking and measuring happiness. They don't. They're just busy doing their life.
Right. Right.
But when you're
Right.
truly happy, you really don't have time to be thinking of comparisons because you're
Yeah.
focused on trying to do what you gotta do, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is that it is you want to do. But
Yep.
that comparison, I have a problem with comparison, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I've been biased, but I really do
Mm-hmm.
have a problem with people trying
With
to compare.
yeah, the comparison is a sign of the general society not being happy.
Yeah,
So they start to look for easy answers. Is this better? Is this a better
exactly.
route? But I
Exactly.
think as an individual, right? You know, as an I muted you for a second, so that as an individual, you can say I was single, and now I'm married. Am I happier? Maybe that's more of a genuine uh, assessment, right? Or I was married, now I'm single. We can fairly measure that against each other and say, okay, that's coming from a genuine place. I changed status. Am I a happier person? But comparing one person to the other, or a group of people to the other, or a group of demographic to another, like, no, you need to tell us the rest of the story. This is just another attempt for the society to be generalizing.
Exactly. And we're trying to get away from generalizations because every human being is different. We're
Mm-hmm.
all peculiar people. We like different things. We do things differently. Things that I may consider as yuck, I can't deal. You might find it as bliss. So
Yeah.
how do you compare that? So if you're comparing based on like for like, orange
Mm-hmm.
for orange, this
Mm-hmm.
orange is fresher than the other one. Okay, that's something we can see, it's
Mm-hmm.
tangible.
Yeah.
But to measure someone's happiness is difficult. No one actually has the capacity to do that. As a single person, the most important thing is your well-being. Are you happy? Are you content with where you are right now? Pending when your status changes, because
Yes.
everybody status can change at any time. Are you happy doing you
Yes.
until your status changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. But this whole idea of social media just blowing up because people are saying, oh, single, because what that does, young people that are impressionable, that are looking to be in loving relationships, it will turn them off, because then they'll start to think, in a kind of weird way, like, oh, relationships ain't worth it, they're not worth it anyway, like people are saying now, marriage is not worth it anyway. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, no, it's not. That's generalizations. You just have not met the kind of person that both of you can work together with. That doesn't mean that it's not fulfilling. That doesn't mean that you can't be happy with
Mm-hmm.
someone else. So we need to be careful, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're touching this topic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna cover more of it, because it's getting worse and worse, and we're getting crazy gurus like this guy. Yes, I'm putting him out there, and they're
Oh
trying to
my
teach the young
God.
people, so. And this guy told his story today, and I watched a video of him telling a story of how he ended up like just he was feeding, how do I say this? He was he proposed to a woman that clearly wasn't a wife, and then ended up getting dumped by the woman, and then getting with somebody who came out of jail. Just crazy stories, and then they come out of these crazy stories, and then they don't heal, and they're trying to advise young men. And like you said, young people are impressionable.
Yeah, of course, and that's the problem, right? So most of these people, podcasters, unfortunately, most of them are men, right? They keep putting out this poison from their own failures. We all fail at some point in life, right? But
Hmm.
being able to look back and say, okay, what could I have done better, or how can I be better
Yeah.
for the future, and how can I avoid, or tell people so that they avoid the same traps that I went into. Instead of
Yep.
them to spend time doing that, they're just trying to destroy young minds. This is what bothers me, because there are people having healthy relationships, are having a wonderful time. If you've had one bad relationship, you chose the person, you made the choice. Whether I was wrong or right, you made the choice, right? So now, instead of you to say, yeah, I made it wrong, it's like someone you're looking for a
Hmm.
particular kind of person, and you end up going to somewhere you clearly know you're not going to meet such people.
Right.
And then you
Right.
end up with someone who's not the kind of person that you want down the line. And then you turn around, you made the choice, so now you propose, now you marry, and you now turn around and want to blame the entire generation
Mm-hmm.
of women
Yep.
for the error of your own mistake. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's happening on both sides, you know. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. I mean,
Mhm.
you have TikToks of women who say, you're better off not marrying all those. That to me, those are
Yeah.
sad videos. You had a
Yeah.
bad experience
Yeah.
does not mean that the whole world is going to have the same experience like you.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
people who are having wonderful marriages, wonderful, they're living their life at the peak. You are here crying. The
Mm-hmm.
man left you, waka.
Yeah.
Waka, do you find another man? If not anyone you won't marry, marry. Leave the young people alone and leave those of us that are still wishing and
You know,
wanting and
ma-
desiring these things.
majority of our audience here, they don't know this guy, so I don't want to waste too much time highlighting him. But I'll say this: he did this. He met a girl at 19. Found out that the girl has a 6 years old. That means that the girl had already had a baby at 13. Now, a little baby girl that had a baby at 13, was probably have been doing Kerewa since 12, right? So now that you found out that the person's baby father was in jail, the person came out of jail, that girl dumped you. No, by the way, before did she dumped you, you proposed to her. She said yes, that you were going to marry her. She now dumped you, went to get with that person. She was now cheating on that person with somebody else entirely. Those people, the person that she was cheating with had a gun in the house, and he was trying to break down the door. The husband that just came from jail is trying to break down the door, right? And he said, "If you dare break down my door, I will buy." He had a whole gun, shotgun, and all that stuff in the house. He broke down the door. He got destroyed. Now this girl came back. You married the girl. So now you came out of all that picture, right? You're now advising people. You're now advising young men. This is what his advice to young men are, right? You don't need to know who he is. Just listen to what he said here. Listen to
Man who
this.
marries a woman past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. But yeah, David, listen, man. I'm not trying to be mean spirited, but you married a single mom. Like,
Post-wall women, they get married all the time, but the men they get married to are very low value. They're beta males. They're pushovers. They're not real men. They're not the men that arouse these women.
Devin is one of just a few women I've dated, older women I've dated, who didn't have any kids.
The Devin she's talking about is the person he's dating right now. That person right now, he started dating this person at 32. The person is a baby mother. The person so now he's being dragged online today for being a fraud. Listen, I keep telling you. Let me hear you, Omoye, on what you just watched.
Most of them are just frauds. I mean, it's this is why videos like this are very important. Most of them are frauds. That's what they do because they try to sensationalize the information they have to create a narrative that is not true. Imagine you met a woman at 19, she already had a 6-year-old. I mean, come on. If I were a man,
So now
I would
you're
say,
assuming, now he's assuming that everybody is going to get
everybody.
with somebody like that. Or
Thank you.
every single mother is like that.
Thank you. Isn't that already warped? It doesn't that tell you that that person themselves have an issue
The
that they
problem
need
is
to address?
self.
Exactly. So the problem I have with these videos is when they circulate, unfortunately, young, innocent, and even mature people, you see mature people every day looking at these videos and repeating the same gibberish.
60-year-old men. 60-year-old men.
There you go.
But they tend to be divorced for, again, same reasons.
Exactly.
Same reasons.
So what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, when you look at it, I don't pay attention to all these podcasts. I don't even do any one of them, man, or I don't listen to it because I just feel like some of them they have their own personal issues, and that's what they come out with. And then they monetize those issues. It's crazy to me. And then I think I was looking at your comments, and I think it was Modely that said, are we talking about younger singles or older singles or
Yes, I was
singles
gonna
in
have you.
general?
Yeah, I was gonna have you answer that. Yes.
Singles generally. because we're finding even people that are much older, like to what Man of Prestige just said, 60-year-olds are falling for this.
Yeah.
You have mature men that are falling for this narrative. Why? Because they also have failed.
They can, yeah, and they can relate. So
And they can relate, right? So they've had their own personal failures. Instead of addressing the self issue, they bring it out and they find someone. Misery loves
they
company.
try to save the world.
Yes. Then they'll say, "Oh yeah, it happened to me 40 years ago. The same thing. Yeah, never da da da." And then if you become,
How you going to try to save the world? How you going to try to save the community? You can't even save your own household.
thank you. You haven't saved your own household. You haven't even figured out what your personal problem is. Then you want to dump it on everyone. This is the part about social media that bothers me, because you have a lot of impressionable young and middle aged and old people that are still falling for these things, and they're holding on to their narratives of, yeah, I can do bad by myself. No, you can't. If you have the opportunity to meet someone who's decent, who cares about you, loves you, is interested in building with you, please grab your copy, as they say in Nigeria.
Yeah, yeah. It's getting bad, but we can't leave them be. We have to. I'm gonna have to start addressing some of this stuff. But I generally don't like engaging people that have made up their mind and they're spewing nonsense. But they're also they're nurturing and they're building a bunch of young men and people that are vulnerable in society. If you're a divorced man at 60, you're vulnerable. You are. You will soak in anything that you can relate with, and that's not helping your issues. You will end up on these streets of internet supporting the 23-year-old telling people to go to Brazil to find wife. Yes, you will. And it will be your fault because you're a grown man. Not his fault. He's 23. It will be all of your fault. And that's where we are right now. So it's not just singles in general. Younger single, they're not asking. They usually are not asking questions if they're happy or not. They're just single. Older single, they are vulnerable because they've gone through certain types of experiences, and it's easy for them to bite into. If they ask one question on YouTube, that's it. They enter that rabbit hole. They will become toxic and start teaching other people or try to save the world, as they call it. And we can't save all of them, but one at a time.
No, I mean, definitely. Again, I don't even personally, I don't think that you can actually, to your point, and to further emphasize, you can't talk to them. They're beyond, most of these people that have podcasts, they're beyond saving, and their mind is on making money. So they will weaponize and capitalize on that selfish interest or pain that they have to continue to make money. So your own here is to,
the audience,
the audience for the audience,
not the content creators, the audience.
Exactly. There's more. If you can do, if you find yourself in a healthy relationship with someone who's willing to help you, why won't you want to do that? You can't do everything on your own, but until you find, don't be in a hurry. That's the other aspect of it. Don't be in a hurry. Just breathe, be calm, and good and calm people will find you. But when you're in a hurry, you just grab anything you see, and which is wrong. So,
just I always tell people, just work on yourself, right? Work on yourself. Even if you remain single, as you work on yourself, because there's no guarantee in life. You can't miss on fulfillment in life if you work on yourself. And by the way, you increase the chances that you won't be on the market for much longer. Because again,
absolutely,
but there's no guarantee in life. And you don't work on yourself so you can find a partner. You work on yourself so you can have a good life.
Thank you very much for saying that, because I wanted to just say that too. Like, yes, some people will say, "Oh, if I'm working on myself," and then you're using your side eye to see, okay, is the person? It doesn't work like that. Working on yourself doesn't mean that when you work on yourself, the person's just going to knock on the door. When you work on yourself, you can actually sniff out the bad ones, the ones that are not good for you. You will easily sniff them out, and that would mean you waiting a little bit longer. Because the truth is, those people that are coming, they see that, man, this person, I like the aura, and they're
Yes.
coming after you for that
Exactly.
because
Yep.
you've done the work. So
Yep.
if you're not careful, you go and fall for a photocopy, right?
Mhm.
That's when you start chopping bulala and receiving woto woto.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get it, my dear. We'll get it.
No, it's true because I've done the work. That's
Woto.
if I hadn't done the work, if I hadn't been through this process, the way I speak right now, right? If I hadn't, because I've been through my own struggles of being single, like like I was
You
gonna
crying.
pass out,
Mm-hmm.
crying and saying, "Why me? What's wrong with me?" and all of that, fasting and praying and whatever, right? But the more I worked on myself, the more I developed myself, the more I became content with myself and fell in love with myself. It was easy to detect a fraud, right? It was
Yeah,
easier for
it's
me to
easier
see a
because
yes,
your energy can't contain it. Like it rejects.
exactly. So in the moment you're having a conversation, you already like your read antenna just has to go up like wow, 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 wow. No, 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 no. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm very glad you said that, man of prestige, that working on yourself is not a guarantee.
No, it's
Life
not.
happens, and that's why, lastly, and I'll shut up forever. Feels
No,
like
I
I'm
have a question
taking
for
over
you.
this shit. Okay.
I have a
All
question
right.
for you.
Okay.
This topic, you came late, but this topic, why do you think Papi Johnson will keep getting quickus in Jesus' name?
My you know why? The power dynamics. That's what, I remember when you came online live. This is what I
Right.
was looking at. Is the power dynamic. When men, they're powerful men, so called. Let me put it in what's it called? Air quotes. Powerful men that seem to have, Nigeria again. Let's set the scene for this whole thing. In Nigeria, money is worshipped. It doesn't matter how you got the money, especially in the atmosphere that we're in. This man has the money, he has the influence, he has all the nice house, the nice cars, maybe dresses, where the expensive stuff that people like. That's the way the society is, right? So
Yeah.
what does he do? And most of these pastors have, when they go for their training, not all of them go to Bible school, but
No.
there's some of them who do, they teach them human psychology, right? So they teach them how to really work on people's emotions. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So they teach them they're supposed to use it for good. For those who understand these things,
Yes.
they can empathize. They can
Right.
listen to your suffering and say, my daughter or my sister, don't worry, it's going to be okay. But the ones that want to use it for evil, they will master the art. They will learn that psychology and use it on the vulnerable
On the
people.
vulnerable. Yes.
So
Yes.
the same way they have the rhetoric, the oratory to speak in the church, to convert the people to, some of them are very good talkers. By the time they talk, they will talk your dress off. They will talk your underwear off.
It's like you were
It's
here.
true.
Were you here? Were you here at the beginning?
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
I
all
just.
right.
Oh, you said all of this.
Yeah, I said the panties will get wet.
That's exactly what happens. So now all these girls that their eye they shine, they don't have contentment they don't have contentment, right? Maybe because of the environment or how they were brought up, right? When they say like, oh my God, did you see? Oh my, see what he did, see what he did. Oh my God, did you see his shoe? Did you see his house? And then the man will now come and say, I want you to pray for me. Then you as a woman, you are going to pray in the likes of maybe let's say Alima, you go wear seductive dress, okay? Because they get motive. She herself, her motive not correct. Some of the girls, their motive not correct. Maybe some of them naive, right? They go. But just listening to the voice, the man's voice, they'll say, oh my God, Papa talked to me. Papa said this. You know the way they do it in Nigeria? My pastor, you know what my pastor told me?
I was watching Pastor Paul Adefarasin his birthday, right? 60th birthday. And and then I watched some of the way he speaks. Yeah. It's like no wonder. It's like I'm like
exactly. Do you understand?
Even though you ones.
I used to go to House on the Rock, Pastor Adefaras's church
Oh, you
in
did?
Lagos.
Okay.
I was a worker. I was in the security department. I
Oh,
used to
wow.
man his entrance where he enters to go to the pulpit. I was the main, we used
You
to
were the
rotate.
person
So,
there.
yes, we used to have rotations, right? So I was one of those people that used to be there. If you see when church wants to start, this is how I knew that the church was a mess. You see all these sharp babes. They go with the short chest clothes like this, and they feel and winch. They will come now, there they want pass. Because they won't pass the enter because news in our front, you so that they will walk out go front. So now they stop them. So as they them. I kid you not. We go say no. I said, people don't quarrel with me for that. They'll say, what is your problem? I'm like, you can't come. This is not the entrance. This is the pastor's entrance. So you have to
Yeah.
go round for where. This is how I knew that, man, there's a problem. And you know how Pastor Adefarasi talks. He has the charisma, he has the oratory, speaks big grammar, all those things. Okomakuni, Oshesoromani, yeah. Oh my God, if you see what Pastor this person said, yeah.
So for someone like him, if he doesn't have self-control, is the easiest thing ever.
It's the easiest thing ever. So it was intentional that we had people man the entrance for him because we had issues where people used to come in
They
just
want prayer.
anyhow.
They want prayer.
And they will not go and sit in front. They'll come here short, they'll come open leg. You don't understand. They'll come open leg. Now you can't go. I've had to go inside the church, pull somebody out, like literally tell them, come with me. The girl was doing a giddy. I say, if you don't come, I disgrace you here. Me, I don't have shame. It is you that will shame. The shame. She will not. I'm telling you.
Hey.
They will not shame. Then when they come out, they'll be like, I'll say, take wrapper. If you don't tie this wrapper, you can't sit in front. So what do you mean? I'm like, sorry. You got to get out. If you're not tying this wrapper, you go out. But she Jenny,
Take rapper or collect. Billy,
I'm telling you. I knew that. Fear women. Do you understand? So now imagine that same in this case. Now me, I don't see what they find attractive in this man. In the case of Sulele, there are people that are, you know what Pastor Paul used to do? You can't, as a woman, you can't talk to him directly. If you are you want to see him, you can't. There are people that were lined up that you have to get through before you get to him. That's how he was. I'm telling you. So for somebody like Sulele, he's been doing this for a long time. OT, don't enter in blood. And people have been turning the other side because they've been getting something from him. Usually, he will watch out for those he feels he can take advantage of. In the case of Halima, she wasn't a Christian, which made it worse for her because she didn't understand the dynamics, right, of being a pastor or, how it works. I'm serious. Because that girl was not a Christian, that's why she fell as hard as she did. Right? So now somebody like Sulele, he's been doing it for a long time. So it's hard for him to. So for him, he kept getting away with it because nobody was saying anything. Kept getting away. So he's now part of his blood. Okay? He can't stop it. As we speak, maybe there's somebody already waiting in the hotel room somewhere for him. You understand? So for people like that, they need to literally be uprooted, thrown inside the jail, and the key
like the story we'll cover today. He slipped his number for the girl allegedly, and then they met at Oriental Hotel after that.
Another one, I did see that one though.
No, that one is from August 2021.
Okay, I've not heard that one though. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You see. There was one I know I heard, some guy that used to work with him that he now started talking to. The girl introduced the girl as his wife, that the person he wants to marry. Then Sulele now went behind, was now toasting the girl, now told the girl to come and meet him somewhere. I think he ended up locking the guy up, allegedly putting some type of case on his head. And then luckily for the guy, somebody knew about it. One lawyer knew about it and came to assist him to get him out of the because he just locked him up for nothing. So this is the problem. Until these people are held accountable because of the power dynamics, the influence, and the small change when they give them. This is
Yeah.
why. And you know, Nigeria, it's so poor. People are struggling to eat now or buy gas. So people are doing whatever.
And it's known to be generous, by the way.
Exactly. So you can imagine, it's not to
2.5
be
million
generous.
naira.
Thank you. So people will wait, literally wait. There are people who would say, I beg, I don't mind. Is it not sleep? If you sleep with me, it's okay. I'm telling you,
Yes, so.
you know,
Yep. Yep.
it's crazy, So when you have a power dynamic, that's why I was emphasizing on the power dynamics. There has to be accountability.
It's very important. It's very important because it's number two of what we talk about here. It's not good enough to be learning relationships. You need to understand how power works. And I try to teach that to men, but women need to understand too how vulnerable they can become when you're in the presence of power. This is something that I'm trying to find it right now. I think was it Modili that said it just now. Adeyemi was the one that said, "Look at what Adeyemi said. See, that Baba voice sweet.
J. Pastor Paul, everybody used to
You
say
see
that.
life. You see life.
Everybody used to say that,
I think
right? So,
Befale.
ó ti ń gbèrò ó ti ń ṣẹ́.
Ó ti ṣe.
Ó ti ń ṣẹ́ àti kò falẹ̀, ó ti ń ṣẹ́ bàjẹ́bàjẹ́. That's what's happening, right? So most of these people, you need to hear when people talk about their pastors. Oh my, and then Pastor, what's his name of Christ Embassy? Oh my God, you need
That
to hear
one.
his members talking about him. Or the ones that know Pastor Paul
Yes.
talking about Pastor Paul. You'll be like, you that you are manning the entrance, you'll be like,
No, Pastor Chris, unless you want to fight, I have cousins that fight each other on these issues. Don't
I'm
talk to each
telling
other
you,
because one person goes to Pastor Chris and the other one is talking and he smack anyhow.
Exactly. And Joy Ngene, I think in your comment section, she said these are motivational. Most of them are motivational speakers turned pastors, and they go to Bible school because they teach them human psychology. If you went to school in Nigeria, because I did school in Nigeria, right, first degree before I came here, they teach you the psychology 101. That's where I knew about human psychology. So you read these things in general context. So you're not focusing on. And I think psychology 201 up until 300 level, right? And then you can now, focus on your main area. So these things, that's what they do. So when they come out, they know how to talk the talk. And some of them, if they can't go to the Bible school, they find a motivational speaker that they look up to. And they listen and listen and listen and master the way that person does things. And then come out and declare themselves pastors, they were called. And then they will use the same oratory on you. And the reason why women are the biggest victims to this is because women naturally will gravitate towards anything they consider to be spiritual. Because this is why, as a man or as a woman, if you're going to get married to a man, marry a man you can follow, that can lead you. Because that's a natural thing with women. So if you end up as a woman, you're constantly looking for a man, any man, anyone, as long as I'm not lonely, anyone, you're going to end up finding someone that you will be leading, which is not natural for you to lead a man. Like, it's not natural. So if you don't find someone who you can follow, don't even try it. Otherwise, you're going to cry.
Right. So, Pastor K's wife, what's her name? Mildred, right? Pastor Kinsley. She was making a point that my wife and I pushed against about 2 years ago or so. But I see where she's coming from now a little bit. She was saying, follow, get with somebody that you can marry, that you can respect, right? And we felt like, well, people get in a space in marriage that you might lose respect for your partner. Just out of natural course order of things. See finish, right? Complacency. Maybe you guys are in that space, right? And that's why we pushed against that. But it looks like there's a lot of young girls just so they can just marry it. They just marry anything.
Exactly. And what's happening now?
Sorry,
Sorry.
continue. Yeah.
No, that's fine. So what's happening now? Why? What are we seeing now? Because a lot of these young people are getting married just so that they're married. They are crashing, and they are making it public, so it looks like, oh, all marriages are terrible. No,
Yeah.
my mom told me this thing. If you don't meet a man that you can follow, like can lead you,
Right.
you don't want to be with that because you already know the kind of person you are. Somebody like me, I know how I am. I know I have a very strong voice, and I'm a very, considered a strong woman in terms of the
You
way
think?
I think.
I don't
and
get that
reason.
vibe though.
Some people, that's what some people think. But hey, I'm
No
just
matter.
echoing what other people think.
No matter. Okay.
Right? So if I can't follow you as a man, if you can't lead me, I don't find you attractive. So it's not even about the looks now. It's about how can I, does this person, am I able to follow this person? Are we like, do we relate on that level of purpose, which
Right.
means, we can both
So
help
so
each other.
so
Go ahead.
in real life, right? So what that looks like is that this person has a vision that you can
Correct.
follow beyond just obviously
The
you're
physical.
attracted to them, whatever.
Yes.
But this guy, like the way he talks, it's almost like you can picture 10 years from now.
Thank you. You can see your future with the person. You can't explain it, but you can see that,
You
oh,
can
this
exactly.
person is going somewhere and I'm willing to go there with him.
Yeah.
As a woman, if you don't feel that, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So a lot of times women don't pay attention to that. They're caught up with the looks, the money, the, oh my God, we're going to be traveling, and the paparazzi. Oh, people will know me. That's just facade. That's just superficial.
Right.
The important thing, if you want a lasting marriage, unless you just want, you have told yourself it's only 2 years I will do with this one.
And
If you're on that,
some of them are starting to say that like it's funny. They say
it's not
marriage will be 2
funny.
years so that it can expire in 2 years and we can determine if you should continue. I say you go collect.
Exactly. So when somebody says that with their mouth, because we know that the mouth is powerful, you've already spoken that. Guess what? You're going to be meeting people like that. That's what, some people don't realize. Know what you want. I personally don't want to be with someone I'm going to be telling him what to do. Mbano. I want to be.
Can you keep it up?
Exactly. I can't. Let me tell you a quick story. Man of prestige. There was a guy I met.
I'm not the man of prestige.
Ola,
We're all
sorry,
prestige
Ola.
family.
Okay. So this guy was talking to me, right? So he asked me out and said, okay, we're going to go out. Now, on our way, we're going out. Suddenly he says, oh, I forgot my wallet at home. Oh my God, I left my wallet. And we're already close to where we're going to catch a movie.
ODD wallet, long.
OTD. In fact, he now said, oh, he needs to buy gas before he goes. So me now, immediately I heard that. One, I've never been used to that. No guy has ever told me I left my wallet. So it was strange, the strangest thing to me. So I said, okay. I said, well, we can go to the gas station. It's like, yeah, do you have any money on you? Weird. It was so weird. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever experienced because I've never in all my life of dating met anyone who ever asked me that. So it was weird. Anyway, we filled the gas tank. We got to the cinema. So I said to him, I said, but you don't have your wallet. So how are we going? Like, yeah, it's okay. You can just, if you don't mind, we can do the movies and I'll give you the money later. I was very nice. Oh my God.
I'm done.
Do you know, we went to the movie, I didn't know that he doesn't want popcorn. He wants the taco something with that sauce on top, cheese sauce and jalapeno. He now bought it. He now bought the greatest drink. Me, I couldn't buy it. I drank water. I was too shocked to even nothing. I had no appetite for anything, so I bought water. No, in fact, I told them to give me water from the dispenser. He now sat down. After eating, and the way he was eating it, it was annoying the hell out of me. I was like, this guy is
Of
just
course.
chopping. So anyway, after everything, we're going. He was taking me back home. He now said, "Oh, this was really good. Oh yeah, I'm going to give you your money tomorrow." Blah blah blah. He now dropped me. When I came down, I entered inside my house. Oh my god! I say, what just happened? I felt like I was in a dream. The next, I don't hear from this guy. Oh. About 2 weeks or so later, hey, he called me. Hey, you want to catch up sometime soon? Da 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 da. He didn't no
You
mention
think
of
say
the
they
phone.
wise?
Crossed my mind. I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. This one, I dash him. Make it just take the money. I didn't ask. So he said, I wasn't picking up anymore. Everything kept going to voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
After that day, that thing gave me a migraine, Ola. That experience gave me a bad headache because it was unnatural for me to go out and pay on a date. It was so unnatural. That was a cue for me. Like, I can never be with
Yeah.
someone who's not going to lead me. It won't work for me. It can never work. No matter how wonderful you are, if I don't feel like you can lead, I'm not going to even bother.
Yeah. So this is the point where the woke people will say, now he might have forgotten the wallet for real, for real, for real.
Your daddy.
Your daddy.
Nah. Nah.
It was on
Ladies.
purpose.
Ladies. No, let's even say you are right. Let's say you are right.
You're right.
Let's say in our wildest dream that you're right. That some people might have, or maybe it's not, they're not lying. They just happen to have forgotten. You need to tell them to go back home. They need to go back home. Why won't you? Because you might be missing out your husband. So be it. Because that might be one of your problems. Because you're afraid that you might miss out on just one human being. There are 8 billion of them in this world. You're afraid that you're going to miss out on one person because they forgot wallet. So it doesn't look like you're not nice. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. I know it's happened to the best of us when you just don't know any better. But please know that for now, for future, if you have to lead a man, can you keep it up? Are you able to keep it up for the rest of your life? Because if they are showing up right now as a follower, there's a good chance they will continue to be followers. The wallet, I don't leave my house. See how it's next to me? So easily, right? The wallet, my keys, and the phone. I won't feel right. I'll feel like I'm running mad. You're muted though, just so you know.
And the guy on top of it, and he was driving BB car. BB car don't drive. Or to
Of
dress
course.
baje. Or draw spray perfume from head to toe. Expensive perfume. Oh, no, so for me. I don't know that it's Sorobia expensive, but that's what he
Gucci
said.
belt.
Gucci belt. Louis Vuitton shoe. Hey, money, wow.
Probably smell like $1 million too.
In fact, and then his hair, you know how they used to line the hair, they will carve it, the thing, everything, put time into. I'm like, what in the hell? How can you have somebody pay on the first date? Man, that was a no. I was like, never. If a man cannot lead, he's not the one. I don't care how fantastic he looks. I don't care how much money he's got. If he cannot, that's why spiritually the man has to be sound. Yeah. That's just a fact. You can't get around that. Mm-hmm. If the man is not sound spiritually, he's not going to know what his place is. He will be in you seem as though he's confused. That's what really normally happens. So for me, I learned a hard lesson. I didn't know better at the time, but it was something I took with me. And to respond to Brother Patrick's question, there was no zeal at the time. Zeal.
Oh, he says
there was no zeal at the time.
Zell me right now. Zell me. Even your phone. You can even pay. These days, you can pay with your phone.
Exactly. Modele says pre-spray. He may have gotten it from the mall. You know how they used to do it. You now, first of all, drive through the mall, go and spray their testing perfume on your body.
Free spray. Hey, voila. Free spray. That
I'm
is
telling
funny.
you,
That
it's
is
possible.
funny. That is funny. Ah.
Oh my God.
So
Hey.
let's say the extreme other end is true. Like this is a
Mhm.
free spray. This guy is just a useless F boy, right?
Yeah.
Can you keep up with that? See,
No.
not see all of
Sorry,
this. We
not
think
me.
this is about. We think this is about right and wrong. That's our problems. No, let's just do the right thing. Ojúlówó ojú ṣàánú, ó lè ti gbàgbé wọlé tẹ̀ lóòótọ́. Don't do things like that. I'm telling you, this life doesn't work like that. That's why I teach you not just relationship but power. You need to say, we can go back to your house. That's fine. You're not displacing him. You are assuming. You have to assume best case scenario. You forgot? Okay. We can go. Because if he flew in, that means he didn't forget his wallet. But that means he can drive to the place within 20, 30, 40 minutes. He can drive. He can go and drive and pick up the wallet. That's fine. And come back. Oh, we can use your phone.
And the people, I don't blame, the truth is, I really don't blame some men who actually do that. They've been exposed, like type of women they've been exposed to, women who pay everything for them. So they're not used to, so there's that bunch also where they don't see anything wrong with it. So again, you have to be aware of that. If you're that kind of person that likes stuff like that, fine, to each their own. But personally, that doesn't work for me. I expect to be taken care of on the first date. I don't believe in sharing the money, chopping. If you're gonna do that, ain't gonna work because there's a lot of sign there for me. When you're not, it's almost telling me you can't take responsibility.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
there's a lot there. Just the fact that you're taking someone out on a first date and you're putting all the bill on them, there's a problem there. And Oga Patrick asked, what does he do? He was an attorney, by the way. An attorney.
Attorney. How much is attorney making? Was he entry level?
He had been practicing for some years. Interestingly enough. But I can't remember how long, but basically the guy was just another.
It might even be 6-figure, 2 times, 3 times over IT job. It's all about how you manage your money now.
Thank you.
It could be a reckless person regardless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, let me leave you for now, but I just want to say for any single ladies out there, whatever, just know what you want. Be yourself. There's no this life, na JJ.
Yes,
Your
focus
own will
focus on
come.
yourself.
Focus on yourself. You get there.
Yeah.
Avoid all these scammers and don't pay attention to all these hula balu boys and women on the internet that are exposing all their frustration. That's not you. Your own life is different. Enjoy and do you. Brother Ola, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Omoye. Thank you so much. You can anytime. You're welcome here anytime, please.
Absolutely. I'm so glad I caught it live. I was like, yes. Finally, let me come in.
I'm happy too. I'm happy too.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
So talk soon.
All right.
Yeah. So Papi Johnson shows up in all types of different forms. Shout out to Omoye and Brother Patrick for making this conversation that much sweeter. Papi Johnson, they come in all types of different forms. Be careful. Papi Johnson can come in the form of a woman too. Gentlemen, are you listening? So there are things you can watch out for. There are certain behaviors that means a lot more other things if you're paying attention. Work on yourself. Work on yourself for yourself. Keep working on yourself. This is an active marketplace anyway. You won't last on the market if it's meant to be. Focus on working on yourself. Improve your own value. Increase your own value. Okay. Spraying sample fragrances. That one was like Jesus Christ. Sample is fine, but the free spray at the mall, that one got me. Oh Lord. Yeah, they will go that one got me. Oh Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, women don't look for spiritual leader. They are gravitated towards looks and charming. Yeah. And there's one thing I want to point out in the terms of the progression of the Nigerian clergy. At one point, it was spiritual. It was just purely spiritual in the 90s, towards the end of 90s, early 2000s. And then in the early 2000s, it looks like the gym, like packaging came in. Or you have to just dress in well-tailored suits, right? Diction, right? Accent, story, Equator, Wallet, America, right? That's all you need to get some young girls. You see, it's the same issues. It's the same issues, right? There's nothing wrong with packaging. There's nothing wrong with making sure you look good, you smell good. I actually think that's actually a sign to some extent of being responsible and understanding that optics is everything. A man must know how to be clean too. But that's not it. That's good for now. For this moment, how you feel right now. What about how do you feel about the direction of this person 5 to 10 years from now? Right? For women in general, in terms of a nurturing spirit, because this wife thing, with if somebody's going to be a wife, they just that nourishing and nurturing thing, it has to be there. It can't be forced. It cannot be a talking point on YouTube. That is not a wife. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a mindset. It's a way they move, the way they carry themselves. Okay, don't go and fall for somebody who just know how to talk the talk. Okay, because they've been cramming a textbook. It needs to be who they are. If they're not already like that, they have to do work over a period of time. They can't just switch overnight because they read one book. Because these things will be tested. The real true person will come out because marriage will test everything. It will test everything. Okay, and you'll fail a few times, and a few failures will turn to success if you've done the work. But the core you is going to be tested. You need to be aware of that. That's why I keep saying the key thing here is working on yourself. Working on yourself. It's an active marketplace. If you don't live in a cave, someone will scoop you off the marketplace. Either you're a man or a woman. Okay? If it's meant to be, it's not a guarantee. Okay? There are many other variables and factors, but you can't miss and you can't lose working on yourself. The only thing you should be comparing yourself to is yourself from yesterday. Like you're trying to improve yourself. Don't compare yourself to the person next door. Don't do that. You can't win like that, okay? You're jumping into somebody else's lane. Go le whack. Go le whack. All right? But that's all I have for today. Shout out to Omoye's Corner. She's a content creator. Please go support her. Shout out to Brother Patrick and shout out to Modele. Thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the movement and the ministry. I appreciate you. All right, and that's all I have for today. On your way out, please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.